Sunshine, blue skies, gotta cry.
Hello friends, hello and welcome. Welcome to this Freedom Day episode. It's not really Freedom, well it is. I'm recording this on what I'm calling Freedom Day because we are looking at this. This is all about a different kind of freedom. I'm outdoors in my front yard. I've got this little tree, well this big tree that I've been wanting to sit under for quite some time. And in front of me is another huge thing. I don't know what kind of tree this is. It's like my fairy tree. One day I will show you. I'm planning on getting back into pictures again. So if you, pictures like taking my photographs and stuff again. So, and I post artwork and stuff over on my Instagram. So if that's something that you feel called to join me over there, I'm going to do my best to kind of get back into that little world. I have a thing with Instagram right now, but we're not going to go into that because we're here to do a show. But look, I've got these beautiful like tiger lilies that just kind of popped up. I didn't plant any of this stuff. It's just been under the ground and just kind of popped up. I see 111 on the timer. And I want to thank you all, right? They're like, get going. I want to thank you all for joining me here. It is a beautiful day outside today. Look, there's our tornado siren that you guys hear sometimes on the video or on the show. I'm sitting on the ground and I feel like I have a limited amount of time before the bugs find me. So this is our, not really our final show, but this is the third in our Journey to Lionsgate series. This is for the 7/7 portal. Like I already have a little critter landing on top of my camera right now. So maybe you'll see them flying around. I don't even know what that is. But I'm joined by all the nature beings. There's bunny rabbits that live in this huge fairy. It's huge, like in front of me. It's bigger than this tree. It's ginormous. And it's very like thickety. I don't even know, like I said. Anyway, I'm gonna how to getting off topic again. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, settle in, bebop around the show with me. It's just one of those days where I'm just kind of flittering and fluttering around my reality. You may hear some cars passing by. The street is like right in front of me here. It's not a super busy street, and the dog knows I'm outside filming, so she's upset that she cannot be out here too. But I wanted to bring in our third door that is opening for us. This is, you don't have to have done the keys. You didn't have to do the last year's Lionsgate journey with me in order to partake in what's happening with this show. You're going to find this episode if it's meant for you, regardless of what kind of came before it. But for those of you that have been with me for a while, we've been on this journey now for about, for the past year or so. And I am bringing in today a channeling. This Journey to Lionsgate has been preparing us for the past year or so. Some of us even before the last Lionsgate, and you'll see what I mean in the channeling. So let's get us all into yummy, good, sacred space. And I'm hoping just by seeing this nature outside and around me that will help you feel a little bit more like relaxed and calm and soothing. It's very calm out here. This is a very peaceful place. This whole town that I live in, I do come to see as I venture around, as I just get the sense of it, that it's more high vibe than not. Very high vibe. Right back over here and up that way is the sacred Indian burial mounds and the medicine wheel and all of that. Just like a walk up that way. Right now, though, I'm going to wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the guides who overlight this show, Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, and for this particular episode, for this 7/7 portal, we have a channeling from the planet Saturn, as well as the energies of the planet Jupiter coming in. I channeled this right before I came out here and filmed. It's all fresh and good, fresh and new. And it's going to, I think, help you see a little bit about why certain things have been going the way they have been in your life and on your path. It's very uplifting, although, you know, it's kind of like you still may have to like fake it till you make it a little bit. But, you know, I've been talking with Soul Family offline, and I think, you know, we're starting to see this now in our physical reality, the manifestations of all the hard work that we've done, that you've been doing, that I've been doing alongside you over this period of time. This Lionsgate, this journey to Lionsgate is a very fortuitous, and look, a black car just passed a white car. So a black car and a white car just passed, like perfectly, things coming into perfect balance. So, and I'm like the odd person out here, like this person, there's a lot of like little old folks. I don't know, sorry, you know how it is with the hair. There's a lot of little old folks here around me. And so this woman out on her front yard, like filming, they're kind of like, what's going on over there? That's okay. So before I just start jumping into the channeling, is there anything else, I'm just asking the guides here, that we need to do to get ready for this information? All right, so they're saying, no, that's really, like, let's have the channeling kind of kick off this whole thing. So we've been working with 3 doors. This is the final door. Oh, I learned, there's just like little nature beings like watching me right now. It's kind of cute. So I get like shiny things kind of sometimes coming in to distract me. But I've been working a lot with the Fae. Especially with my new book, The Fairies of Lemonlock. And I guess just before I jump into the channeling, just to say, a few days ago, I posted a card reading on my Loveland Tarot channel. All the links to everything I talk about, if you're new here, they're always in the show notes. But on Loveland Tarot, I posted a very, very powerful reading called When Is This Situation Going to End? Karmic Relationships. And if you feel called to that, I would invite you to go watch that reading. It's a collective reading with a little mini pick a card at the end. I would say this channeling is kind of the extended reading to that one. But when I did that card reading, there was almost like a consciousness upgrade that came in as a result of it towards the end. And if that's meant for you, if you need that, then you're going to get that. We brought in Reiki, and we brought in a lot of very deep and powerful messages. I got very raw and open about what's going on. I asked the guides for assistance, and my neighbor's like, what are you doing? I asked the guides for assistance, and I almost kind of like took it too far, which was meant to happen, like kind of in my asking about when is the situation going to end. At some point the guides are like, that's enough. You already know the answer to this question. And there was a point when the energy shifted, and if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, I think you will feel it about 3/4 of the way into that reading. So Loveland Tarot, that link is there. And then the Fairies of Lemonlock, we've been doing some Reiki and ASMR storytelling over on my TAMI Lynn Chambers channel. That is my author channel. And so if you like channeled fiction, or if you want to dive deeper with me and the Fae, we are working right now with some deep lessons there, and you also get Reiki healing and just have fun with me on just another place. All right, so this channel is more about the deeper teachings. I've kind of been asked by Spirit to separate them in that way, which is fine with me. It gives me some variety. And for those of you that don't maybe care about those other things, I will just get on to this part now. So this is the channeling. It's called 7/7. So this gateway is coming up on July the 7th. This is Saturn and the karmic cycle of return. So this is just a complete channeling. I'm just going to read it as it was channeled to me. So just settle in with your master senses. See how this might pertain to you. Very deep guidance and wisdom coming from Saturn. This is door number 3, the freedom to move forward. Dear hearts, it is time to reap the rewards that you so justly deserve. For a period of time now, you have been experiencing the energy of constriction and reduction. For some, this has been going on for a very long cycle, as Saturn usually supports spiritual growth that is deep and long-lasting over the soul's many lifetimes. If this is you, and you will definitely know, as I have been working diligently in your life to ensure that situations were placed in your conscious awareness that would bring about experiences where you could choose to learn and grow exponentially. Now, others of you have been going through a lesser, yet no less important period of deep introspection and spiritual growth that is more months in the making rather than years. For you, I have been watching the way in which you interact with the world and those around you. And I have put situations in your conscious awareness that have allowed you to delete and remove those people, places, and objects of which you have outgrown. For some of you who have desired a more exponential level of growth, both of these processes have been occurring simultaneously. And that's me, maybe you too. And for those of you, I am truly congratulating you on your efforts. Okay, the bugs have begun to find me. For all of you hearing this channeling, it is with the greatest of admiration that we, the Lords of Karma, and the High Planetary Council of Light, as well as the Archangelic Realm and your own personal guides, are deeply respecting you for all your work to transcend and grow into who you are meant to be as a soul. Not as a human, but as the soul learning deep, very deep lessons in order to be initiated into a higher level of your own growth. Now, this is where it gets good. Now, dear ones, it is time to reap the benefits of your hard work. And for you, we go into, sorry, some of my channeling, I didn't go back and fix it after I did it, so it's hard to read it. And for you, you go into a period of giving back in what is called beneficence. It's benefice, like beneficence. I can't say it. It's like a beneficial time. This is a period undetermined in how long it lasts, as it is meant to be an individual choice at the soul level. So let me read this again. This is a period undetermined in how long it lasts, as that is meant to be an individual choice at the soul level, meaning your soul kind of has control of like, okay, now it's time for me to learn more lessons. I'm going to go back into this reduction phase. But what Saturn is saying for you is, but for now, into the unforeseeable future you receive. I being Saturn, not me, I, along with my planetary soul friend Jupiter, have aligned you into the realms of all possibilities with a deep focus on reaping the rewards that are so justly earned by you. Many factors now converge for you as the Lords of Karma and the Lords of Divine Time, along with the angelic realms, work together to deliver you these just and deeply fortuitous rewards. Now here is your, what do I want to say? here is your action steps or your advice on what you're supposed to do next as a result of all of this fortuitousness. Your job is to keep going on your path. As these rewards begin to manifest into your physical world, remember where you came from. There's deep wisdom here, so please be open to receiving it. It's almost like a parent kind of talking to you at this point. Remember where you came from. Know that it is in giving that you receive. And keep at the forefront of your awareness all the hard work that went into the making of these manifestations. Receive with an open heart, but also know that this time period is but one on the wheel of the soul's journey, and that with every upcycle, there is always at some point a down cycle. Plan accordingly by being judicious about all your rewards, using your resources wisely, using the law of karma to your benefit. For example, the more you give, the more you receive. By continuing to engage in any daily practices that you had found would bring you closer to your divinity, sovereign self, and peace. So just continuing to engage in any daily practices where they were practices that brought you closer to your peace, your inner light. That's what they're saying. So don't give up those spiritual practices, although you may find that they evolve a little bit and they change a little bit. With many blessings awaiting you now, I leave you here. Congratulations. So we're supposed to celebrate, and I guess last night there was a lot of celebration going on. Like right in front of my house, people parked and set off a lot of fireworks. So this door that Saturn is referring to opened as of February 22nd. And that was one thing. So February 22nd, 2022, I'm just getting a little chill there because they're like, yes, don't doubt what you're feeling. In the card drawing why do I keep calling it a card drawing? In the card reading that I did over on Loveland, one of the questions was, they showed me in the progression of cards a timeline of something, and I was like, well, the first thing for us in that card reading was this event that was supposed to occur, and the event hadn't occurred yet. Not the event like people are talking about, that event. In your own personal life, there's something that kind of kicks off what? A new karmic cycle. But until that event happens, you're kind of reaping rewards in other areas of your life. Okay, so this is for those bigger things in your life that you're frustrated about, why haven't they manifested yet? And Saturn is saying, okay, look. So even in that card reading, the guides that were there were like, oh, look, they were kind of putting a finger to me wait, Missy, because I was kind of getting to this. I was getting, just as all of you might be feeling, frustrated about certain things that hadn't manifested yet. And the guides were like, look. And what they said is, you have been on this new timeline, this beneficent timeline, I said it right this time, since February 22nd, 2022. All around you, you're starting to see things manifest as a result of that. And I was reminded of that before I came out to film this morning. I wanted I told you, some of you, I've gotten some stuff from my storage when I moved, kind of when this whole Saturn thing for me started back in 2015. It's been longer than that actually, but that's okay. It's actually been since 2006 for me, but it's been slowly progressing and kind of reached its pinnacle in 2017, 2018. But this morning I was looking for stuff, so I wanted like a hat, and I'm like, oh, I can't find a hat. And I found a hat, and then I came downstairs and I found another like of the same type of hat, and then I needed shoes. So I got like all this stuff back from things I had put in storage when I moved back in early 2018. All those things came back to me, and so now it's like I have 2 households worth of stuff, and many of it's duplicates. So Saturn's like, look, all those things were replaced. So all the things I thought I lost way back in 2017, 2018, since then have been replaced by very similar items that I felt like I needed. Spiritual tools came back to me and all that, but since then Spirit had gifted me, I didn't purchase them, it gifted me with many similar spiritual tools. I have to shift my position. Many similar spiritual tools to where I really wasn't lacking in anything at all. And so I was reminded of that this morning prepping for the show. It's like I have 2 tripods, 2 microphones. I've got 3 different ways to record the show on 3 different phones, even though I was telling you guys like I need a new laptop. And I set up a coffee page. The link is also in the show notes for those of you that are interested in contributing to that cause. It is a community goal for a laptop because my laptop died. So that quite hasn't really come back yet. But I mean, I've got 2 phones and phones I didn't use anymore and tablets. So there's plenty of resources to go around. And the guides in that card reading were saying like, for the thing that hasn't manifested yet, because I mean, I kept pushing them because they said, you're already on the timeline. I'm like, well, if I'm already on the timeline, not like I, meaning all of us who are watching or listening, and if you do go watch that, you'll see what I mean. Because I get to a point about so much through where I'm kind of like, okay, you're showing me this timeline, but this thing has not kicked off yet. And until this thing kicks off, then this bigger karmic reward feels like it's still in the 5D. And I kept pushing like, when? And suddenly they were like, be happy with what you have right now. We've talked about this before too on the channel. You already know in your heart, you know what you're manifesting. So you know what you're manifesting. You've been given many times I've said this on these shows, many confirmations that this is going to manifest for you. It's part of your fate. It's part of your soul's dharma. And basically they told me, this is becoming, it's almost becoming like an addiction, like you're addicted to the confirmations of knowing when this timeline is going to start off. And they basically were very frank, and they're like, number one, we're not going to tell you because first of all, it's supposed to be a surprise. If it's one of your biggest rewards that you've been working hard for, don't you want to be surprised by it, right? You don't want some girl on a card reading or whatever to tell you like on this date at this time or whatever, because we could get that granular. And I have been given that level of granularity before when I'm supposed to take action on something. On this date, at this time, you're supposed to do this. And they're like, we're not going to tell you that. We're not going to tell you. Number one, it's different for all of you. And number two, it's supposed to be a surprise. So they told me, you just need to stop asking and you need to stop seeking out those confirmations. And if we, like your guides, feel like you're maybe dipping a little low in your vibe and you need a confirmation, we're going to give you one. And it could be in like a fun, unexpected way, rather than in a way that you continue to seek validation about things happening. So this could be like surfing social media looking for validations, watching card readings over and over looking for validations. So we were basically pretty much nicely told, like a little tough love, like that's enough now. So what you need to do to self-soothe if your manifestation has not arrived yet is you need to find a better thinking thought. This is totally Abraham coming in, totally, Abraham Hicks and Esther coming in, and, their whole thing is like, if you don't like what you're seeing or feeling or whatever, find a better thinking thought. And so rather than seeking validation and confirmation, do something else to basically serve, number one, which it will in turn kind of bring your vibe way up. You won't necessarily need that validation and confirmation anymore. And it is, in a sense, a way of distracting yourself from thinking about those things that aren't happening. So every time personally, just because, we're all in this together and everybody's got a manifestation that they're waiting on. So personally, when that happens, for me, the best way for me to kind of self-soothe is to serve, which means you guys benefit from me not having my manifestation yet, because every time I start feeling, kind of like, why isn't this here yet? First of all, I'm reminded of all the exciting things that have happened even since February 22nd and before that. But I go into creative mode because that's my way of feeling better. That actually is self-soothing to me, to create content for you all, to channel all these guides, to make cards, to write to channel books, to hang out with you all in all these different spaces, online spaces and places that the TLC for the Soul community exists in. That makes me feel really good, and even to work with you and talk with you offline, and to serve my soul sisters and brothers offline that have reached out to me, like that brings me like a really good organic high. So right now I can't get enough of that. It's just keeping me grounded and motivated and focused. So whatever that is for you, if it's gardening, if it's channeling, if it's, I don't know what it is for you. How do you serve? How do you serve others? If it's maybe taking care of your family, or, it's different for each one of you, but seek out more of that right now, because there is this window. It's closing. No, it's not closing. The window of time between you and your big manifestation is obviously closing day by day by day by day by day, right? And there's no sense in taking up good brain space and good space where you could be doing something fun you really enjoy by continuing to wonder about this other thing. So that is because I actually did get a little kind of worried, because I'm like, okay, this is July. And this all goes into, how some things might manifest differently than you were expecting. Oh, this shiny thing looks like a person walking. And so you have to be open to that. But if Spirit's the one driving, then the manifestation could be even better than you were expecting. But for me, I was kind of like getting this, like, I'm running out of time feeling. Like, if this thing doesn't happen by this time, I'm just really feeling kind of anxious about that. And so I have to go into, like, this is where your total surrender and faith, which is what came over me during the card reading, is towards the end, I left it with a total feeling of like complete and utter faith and hope that I was being supported completely. It's just, I can't explain it. And the download or the activation may be different for you if you go watch it. And, if you're not going to go watch it, then I invite that reality, and I invite that activation in for you now, speaking or channeling through me, that this is just this deep feeling of peace, like a deep peace and trust came over me. Now, is it 24/7? Not always. Like, I still dip in and out, but I'm getting better about not getting anxious about that. And if I do start to feel anxious about it, then I totally shift my focus. I'm like, okay, let me go do something for one of my channels. Let me go on to TikTok and film. Like, I have a TikTok and I just do quick little card readings over there, or I post, if I do a little drawing or whatever, I post it either on Instagram or TikTok, something, anything, even if one person sees it, that's my service work right now. So as best you can, don't let those niggling little sniglets, or I don't know what they are, but those niggling little worries and things take over, because it is easy to let that happen. So just find a way to vibe as high as you can. And if you're watching this, then you all know how to do that. So that's my words of wisdom, my personal experience in working with this energy. man, these two trees have really like merged together. They form like this canopy over my head. I do want to take you, I am going to pause this and take you on a little short walk with me here because I want to see if something is still there. I'm going to show you these trees and stuff too, so hold on. So here is, I just want to show you, here is the fairy tree. This is where I was sitting. If you look up, it's like this huge canopy, like two trees kind of converging. And I'll back out a little bit so you can see this tree. It's really big, like in relation to my house. It's a really big, I don't even know what it is called. Okay, but I want to walk. You can just walk with me for a minute. It's not very far. So that's like our little nature walk. I don't have the stabilizer on, so sorry if it's a little bit shaky. I haven't used that stabilizer on my tripod because it's really sensitive to being in perfect balance, and when I have my mic cord attached. I want to see this. This is for all of you. This is a message. This is my little, oh, it's still here. Okay, this. So I saw this yesterday and I went to pick it up and the dog was trying to chew it and attack it. And so I had to leave it here. But this is, I'm gonna let you look at it like that. This is how I found it yesterday. So for some of you, or for all of you, this is like our Ace of Swords kind of moment. And this is also a call out. I'm going to keep this somewhere. This is also a call out to my Sisters for the Sword. So the next episode I'm going to be recording is a Rainbow Rose Order initiation video for those of you that are interested in working. So that for my Sisters for the Sword and my Brotherhood of the Rose soul family, we're finally going to be doing our initiation, and I'll probably just be recording that as an audio. I'm going to end this by coming back to my little tree where I was sitting on my giant cardboard, and I'm going to show you these pretty little flowers, this beautiful little tree space that I definitely need to work with. I haven't done anything to these spaces. Definitely need some pruning and weeding and all that. So I want to leave you here as we journey closer to Lionsgate on the 8/8. Congratulations on a job well done. Maybe we'll even prop this over here. It kind of wants to be like right there. We'll congratulate you on a job well done. And I will see you all again soon. Take care.